I feel honored that I have the opportunity of coming to Vrindavan again and being in the presence of Swami. As my friend introduced me just now, that I had the unique privilege of standing beside Swami and speaking on the previous ATHI Yagna. This is a moment which remains cherished in my life till the last breath of my life. There was a point where Swami showered on me his infinite affection and love. And the topic that is given to me today is his favorite topic, his inspiration, that we should cherish the desire to give. There is a joy in giving. Swami has mentioned a number of times, the only way to please Swami is to do your fullest to the society in which you serve. Give your best and you get his abundant blessings in return. There is so much joy in giving, not in receiving. Of course, there is joy in receiving as well, but it is so short-lived. You purchase a car, you'll be very happy for 3 months, and after that you look for the next model and your car does not satisfy you. You build a building and after 6 months you feel the building is not properly planned, I could have done it better. Any acquisition that you make, the joy remains with you for a short time. The material that you give out, the joy giving to people is most important and multiplies every subsequent moment. When I was thinking of sharing this idea, I remembered a small incident that happened when I was teaching in the college. I was teaching on my final year degree students. I was a chemistry teacher. And suddenly while teaching chemistry, I asked them a question, how many of you know your grandfather's name? They looked a bit perplexed. How is grandfather connected to chemistry? Since the teacher asked the question, they had to answer. All of them looked around and raised their hand. I said, good, all of you know your grandfather's name. I paused for a moment and then asked, how many of you know your great-grandfather's name? Again they looked around and 8 to 10 hands went up. I said, good, at least 10 people know their great-grandfather's name. After another minute's pause, I asked them, how many of you know your grandfather's name? No hand went up. I was really surprised. I said, how is that you don't remember your grandfather's name? One girl stood up and said, what is the point in knowing, sir? I said, Amma, I am not asking my grandfather's name. I am asking your grandfather's name. And you say, why should you remember? She said, what is so great he has done for me to remember, sir? Looking at her anger, I said, Amma, please cool down. I made her sit down and asked the remaining students, don't worry, if you don't remember your grandfather's name, I am going to mention a few names of people. If you know them, please raise your hand. Others, don't worry about it. They were all curious to know which names I mentioned. I asked them, do you know the name of Rama, Ayodhya Rama? Yes, everybody knew. Then I said, do you know the name of Krishna? Yes, everybody knew. Then I asked them, Buddha, Mahavira, Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda. I went on asking all the names and everybody said we know them. I said, I have a serious problem now. Very serious problem, because the names I mentioned from Rama to Vivekananda, all those names, I am not the great-grandson of any one of them. But I remember all their names, but don't remember my own great-grandfather's name. Why is that? Please think over and tell me. I gave them 5 minutes to think. Something interesting happened. I had a student in my class, an extremely brilliant and sensitive child. She had tears in her eyes. I was surprised. I asked her, what happened, Padmini? You are crying? She wiped her tears and stood up and told me, sir, this question of yours has shown a way for my life. I learned a great thing in this question. She gave the answer and that became a lesson for my life. It could be for anyone. She said, I learned a beautiful lesson that anyone who lives for himself shall not be remembered by the world, and anyone who lives for others shall not be forgotten. All the names that I mentioned just now, from Rama to Vivekananda, all those names, these are the people others. If I live only for myself, my great-great-grandson will not remember my name, worrying about the rest of the world. And if I do something to society, society will never forget. That's why Swami went on telling, if whenever and wherever you get an opportunity to serve society, please serve. Please serve. This serving is the joy of giving. Giving does not mean you should give money only. Many people have an impression, I have no money, how can I give? Giving is not just money. Money is one simple aspect of life. If you don't have money, but still have plenty to give. Plenty to give. I remember a small incident. W.B. Yeats, great writer of England, wrote in his biography a small incident. A lovely incident which touched me. One day, Yeats was sitting at his desk and writing something in the house. It was about 4 o'clock in the evening. The bell rang. Normally, when people do not go without appointment. He had no appointment with anybody, but the doorbell rang. He went and opened the door. He saw an old man standing at the door and he said, Mr. Yeats, I am sorry. I have not taken your permission to come, but I could not control myself. Can I come in? He looked in definite distress. Yeats pulled him inside, called him, and made him sit beside him on the table. The man, when he sat there, an interesting thing happened. He removed his spectacles, held his face in the palm of his hands, and started sobbing like a child. First of all, Yeats does not know who he is. He doesn't know why he has come here, and doesn't know why he is crying. He was totally at loss to know what happens. He just stood up, went behind this man, put his hand on his shoulder and said, don't worry, God will be kind to you, don't worry. After 2 minutes, he wiped his tears, the man, wore his spectacles and said, thank you, Mr. Yeats, I go back. He went up to the door and Yeats could not contain his curiosity. He said, sir, can I be of any help to you? You look to be in some difficulty, can I be of help to you? Yeats said, sir, you already helped me now. You helped me so much. You know what happened is, I live in the same lane down. Every day morning I see you when you go for a walk. I know you are a famous man. You are a great writer. But just now in the morning I received a message that my only daughter, who is in New Zealand, died of an accident. I don't know what to do. I am alone in the house. I don't get flight till tomorrow morning. I am feeling so restless. I wanted somebody to share my grief. I didn't know anybody. I remember you during the walk that you are staying in this house. I came and shared my feeling. And you are so kind to console me. And he went back. And Yeats writes in his diary, people do not come to you for donations. People come to you for nice appreciation. One, empathy. You don't have to do anything great. You don't have to give money. Be empathetic to people. Don't sympathize. Empathize with them. Stand behind them. Don't worry, I am with you. God will be kind to you. This world will give you great solace to you. For giving, you don't have to give money. You have to give little time, little affection. One smile at the right time can give you a lot of happiness to people. That's what we have to do. Another beautiful instance I remember is Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy was going on the road. A beggar came. It was December, cold winter, biting cold. A beggar came to me and said, brother, sir, can you give me a little money? At least half a ruble is enough. Can you give me? I didn't have my breakfast. Tolstoy really wanted to help him. He checked his coat pocket and trousers. He had no money with him at that time. He had not even a penny with him. He did not have any money. He searched and looked at this beggar and said, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, brother. I don't have anything at this moment. If you can wait for some time, I can go to my house and bring some money. I'm sorry, I'm not able to help you. Immediately, the beggar said, no, sir. You helped me enormously so far. Already helped me enormously. Paul said, how did I help you? Sir, what more can you do other than calling me brother? I'm a man in terrible distress. You call me brother and that's more than enough for me. That means nice word at the right time could be a great giving. Giving does not mean anything. One smile at the right time can do lots of good things. I learned a lesson beautifully. I should share that with you. Many people feel geography is so boring. But I enjoy geography. When I was in school, my teacher used to teach me geography and told me, next to Israel and Palestine, there is a big sea, actually it's a big lake, a sea called Dead Sea. He talked about Dead Sea. As a student, suddenly I stood up and asked him, "Sir, people die, animals die, will seas also die? Why it is called Dead Sea?" My poor teacher, he said, "I don't know why it is called Dead Sea, but people say nothing grows in that sea, no fish exists, therefore it is called Dead Sea." That really tormented me. How can you see that? When my research took me to Israel, I went to see that place. It's a magnificent experience for me. You can visualize. I can't show anything other than my gestures. I went to see the Dead Sea, and I told you it's not a sea at all. It's such a huge lake. It is 822 square kilometers. Huge lake. It is called Dead Sea. It is Dead Sea. If you go near the sea, nothing grows, not even grass grows. In the sea, not even a single fish exists. No flora, no fauna there. I don't know why it was like that. When I went close to it, I could realize the salt contained in the Dead Sea was 37%. Very high. You can even take a newspaper, stretch yourself on the water and sleep and read the paper. You won't see it. The density is so high. But what happens to your skin afterwards is a different thing. It's terribly salty. Terribly salty. When I saw that, I said, "Good. Terribly salty, nothing can survive here." But then, interestingly, I took a journey up in the north. I went about 75 to 100 kilometers. You get another sea called Sea of Galilee. It's a very famous sea where Jesus Christ carried out all his miracles. He walked on water, gave food for thousands of people on the bank of this river, this ocean. It is called Sea of Galilee. It is also a lake, a huge lake. You can visualize down south there is Dead Sea. Up north, about 75 kilometers away, there is Sea of Galilee. And Sea of Galilee is fantastic. You find any kind of fish there, any kind of flower, foods, the sea is alive, pulsating. I was wondering, how is that this sea is alive and this sea is dead? Then also I studied a little more. I found the water that comes to both the lakes or both the seas is only from one river, the Jordan River. The river Jordan gives water both the Sea of Galilee and also Dead Sea. That surprised me most. The source of water is the same for Sea of Galilee and Dead Sea, but why is the Sea of Galilee is alive and Dead Sea is dead? I studied a little more geography, I found the answer for it. The Jordan River first goes to Sea of Galilee. A branch of Jordan goes into Sea of Galilee, goes around, finally comes out and joins Jordan River again. How we can visualize that? The branch of Jordan goes into Sea of Galilee, goes around, finally comes out and joins the main river. And finally, the river goes to Dead Sea. Unfortunately, Dead Sea has huge mountains on all the sides. There is no way the water can go out. That means Jordan River finally stayed with Dead Sea. I thought and then realized a beautiful lesson of my life that Swami keeps on telling, if you don't give, you become dead. If you give, you become alive. This geography becomes so beautiful. Now listen, why Sea of Galilee is alive? Very simple. It takes water from Jordan, gives it back to Jordan. But Dead Sea only receives water but does not give out anything. It receives water and water comes, there sea water comes, river water comes, it takes it to salt. Finally stays there, water evaporates and the salt content goes on increasing. So I learned a beautiful lesson of my life. If I only receive and do not give out, like the Dead Sea, I will become a dead man, even by living. But if I receive from society and give it back to society, like the Sea of Galilee, I will be alive like the Sea of Galilee. Therefore, giving is not an obligation, it is the way of survival. Swami said that the only way to survive is to give. Another instance could be very funny, but the way I looked at it was so wonderful. And every time I narrated the incident and wrote about it, I was thinking of Swami all the time. It's a very interesting incident happened to me. I was the principal of the college for a long time, too long in time, 16 and a half to 17 years as the principal of the college, and I had a wonderful team of professors. I loved them and they loved me. There was a young lady, not very young though. She was very fond of me and she said, "Sir, please come home one day." For some reason or other, whole year I could not go to her house. Second year she said, "You should come on Sunday." I fixed the time and went to her house. Please visualize it with me. When I went to her house, she was so happy that the principal has come home. I was sitting on the sofa. She had 2 children. Normally, the first child is obedient. Normally. The second one is always mischievous. Normally, it is so. And she was always worried about the second one. Whether they will ask me some questions and worry me, embarrass me, and all that. As she expected, the second fellow came before me. A little fellow, 8 or 9-year-old fellow with a half pant and a t-shirt, hair scattered all over, with both his hands in his trouser pockets, short pant pockets, came and stood before me. Went on only looking at me. And she told me, come inside, come inside. I said, wait a minute. And then finally came close and asked, are you the principal? I said, yes, I am the principal. Maybe apologetically I told him. And then he still came closer, looked into my eyes and asked me very seriously, you have showered in your bathroom? What a question was. The lady was feeling so disturbed. The principal comes home for the first time and this fellow goes and asks, you have showered in the bathroom? I said, don't worry. I said, I have showered in the bathroom. He pushed his lower lip and said, we don't have. I said, doesn't matter, man, when you grow up, you have the shower there. Then he laughed loudly, why when I grow up, I made the shower now only. You said just now, the shower is not there. He's not there. My papa is not here. I have made a shower. Come, I'll show you. He pulled my hand to play. The lady became red in her face. The first time the principal comes home and they drag him to the bathroom, it was so hard. I said, doesn't matter, let me see what happens. He pulled me there, I went into the bathroom to see. And I just suggested there was only a tap. There was no shower. Then like a magician, every step was planned. He put his hand in right pocket of his shorts, took it out and said, there's a small little balloon. Small balloon he took out, rubbed it, blew air in that, stretched it, fixed it to the tap. From another pocket with a thread and tied it properly. I was wondering what is he doing. And he looked up at me and said, see the fun now. He opened the tap. The water started coming into the balloon. It became so big. I thought it would burst now. Before I could say it would burst, he stopped it. Again looked at me and said, see the fun now. From his shirt pocket he put a small needle, sharp pin, went on putting about 15-20 holes into the balloon and water started oozing out like a shower. And balloon became flat. Then again see now, he opened the tap, half of it. And then water started coming into the balloon became big and water also started oozing. The water was coming into the balloon and was coming out of the balloon also, it became like a shower. He said, see, balloon shower that I have made. I said, very creative boy, very good, nice, creative. I appreciated him and his mother. That was the incident over. 15 days later when I was traveling elsewhere, suddenly the incident came before my mind and I thought it was a beautiful philosophical lesson that we can learn from this. We are all like the balloon only. When we are born, we can't do anything, we are helpless. We just can't do anything like the balloon we fall flat. Just other than crying, we don't know anything. But as we grow, we start receiving from parents, family, schools, colleges, universities and society at large and our life becomes big. As the balloon receives water and becomes big, we receive from parents, families and society everywhere and our life becomes big. If I only continue to receive and do not give out, what is going to happen to my life? If the balloon were to only receive water and do not give out, balloon would have burst. Is it not right? Therefore, only when we gave holes there, the water started coming out. Even when the tap is on, water was coming into the balloon and was going out also. So therefore, giving out for the balloon was not an option. It was the only way to survive. Otherwise, balloon would have burst. There are 20-30 holes we made, and through the holes the water was coming out. I know we have 20-30 facets of our life. I am a husband to somebody, I am a colleague to somebody, I am a boss to somebody, subordinate to somebody, friend to somebody, a colleague to somebody. I have different roles to play in my life. Through each of my facets, if I start giving out, then I am justified to receive it. If I only receive, do not give out, my life will burst like a balloon. Therefore I thought giving, as Swamiji keeps on saying, giving is not an option. It is the only way to survive. It is the only way to survive. limited time to speak today, exactly half an hour. I got another 5 minutes more to speak. I have read an incident, and sir told me that you mentioned this incident, what Swami realized, how he makes you do amazing things. Many times he asks you to give, sometimes he asks you not to give. Very interesting incident, very touching incident I had. SNS Murthy sir was very affectionate to me. He gave a number of chances to go to Indira to see Swami there a number of times. One day he was asking me, why don't you record some talks for the Sai Radio in Kannada? I said, I'll do it. He gave me 4 or 5 topics and said, each lecture should be about 45 minutes to 1 hour. I said, I'll record it. Sir, shall I send the recorder? I said, I have a small recorder, I'll record it and give you. I'm used to it. I said, okay. One day, he started testing me. I was traveling too much out of the country. I did not find time. He started really saying, you must do it by next week. At least one episode of it, I wanted to read it. I decided today I'll record it. The best time, I'm not recording in a studio. In my house at 12 o'clock at night, sufficiently quiet place. I kept the microphone here and a small recorder was there. I'm used to it, I started it. Probably I had spoken even half a sentence, not even half a sentence. There was a tuck noise there. What is the noise I saw? And it was gone off. The recorder had gone off. Maybe sometimes I had not pressed it properly, I thought. Somehow I said, okay, today is not a good day. We did not start out well, tomorrow I will record. It could be either laziness or whatever, I do not know. I decided to record the next day. That night at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I had a very peculiar experience. I never had it in my life before. Never ever had it. At the first time I had this experience. At about 3:30 in the morning, I was sleeping there. Suddenly I felt the presence of Swami next to me. By then he was in the hospital. Suddenly I felt it was so strong. It was so strong and difficult for me to believe it was a dream. I could actually feel in 3 dimensions. I'd never had this experience before. It was a little perplexing to me. Then his usual style gestured and asked me, record aita? Have you recorded? And I said, no Swami, I could not record it, went off. I think tomorrow I'll record. He said, don't record. Didn't record. I said, listen, this Murthy is after me. He pressurized me so much and every day he's telephoning as I record go on, what do I do? He says, but don't record till 23rd. Don't record. It was so strong in my mind, don't record till 23rd. I said, why did he say 23rd? I said, Swami, what can I tell him? Again, tomorrow morning he is going to call me. One episode give me because I have to air in his Sai Radio. He said, I told you, don't record till 23rd. And I said, okay. Then I got up in the morning. It was so strong that I could not believe that it was 3:30 in the morning. I could not go back to bed. Next onwards, from that day onwards, I started dodging SNS Murthy like anything. The reason is whenever I telephone, I would say I'm not available because he definitely asked me, why are you not recording? I didn't want to tell him because I was not sure what experience is this. Is it a hallucination or a dream or is it a real instance? Why this day 23rd? I went on telling people, my wife also, if SNS Murthy telephone, please say I'm busy and I'll call him a little later, and he did not call. Murthy must be really angry with me at that time. After 15 days, he stopped telephoning me. And after 24th, Swami attained Mahasamadhi. And 24th evening, I telephoned to SNS Murthy and said, sir, this is the reason why I did not want to record because Swami had told me specifically not to record after 23rd. He said, I thought so. I did not telephone you after that, not because I was angry with you. He told me very clearly, if you have not recorded, there must be some reason because I got some message not to record in 23rd. Otherwise, recorded. I still do not know why he told me not to record in 23rd. And you cannot believe, on 24th night, I sat at about 12 o'clock till morning 4:30. I recorded all the 4 episodes and sent it to Sai Radio, and they are all broadcast now. Maybe his desire that I try to hold on for some time. Sometimes when the perfection is not reached, he asks you to stop. Realize first of all, plan what you are speaking, then speak about it. maybe wanted to chisel the thoughts and do it. That is His will. We can't predict His will. We go down to His will. I am so grateful that I had the opportunity of coming again to the Yaga and being in your presence, in the presence of Swami. My pronouns to all of you.